Hello, my fellow YouTubers. How are you today? Okay, so today we're going to talk about our topic for today is Dragon Ball GT the worst? Really that bad? Well, let's talk about Dragon Ball GT. It was supposedly the sequel to Dragon Ball Z, where Goku continued his adventures after Z through a certain time gap between the last episode in Z and the first episode of GT, a certain time gap between the two shows. However, what made GT different was that, unlike Dragon Ball Original, Z, and Super, it did not have a manga made by Toriyama. It was completely episode wise. It was completely done through the animation company it was sponsored by. Toriyama had no help except this designing the Super Saiyan 4 concept, I think. Because originally Toriyama was gonna use Super Saiyan 4 as Super Saiyan 3, but he decided to have the long yellow hair instead. But that never the point. Well, let's look at the synopsis. In Dragon Ball GT, we see Goku finishing his training with his new apprentice Oob, the reincarnated Majin Buu. After Oob has finally completed his training, Goku decides to take some time off. However, he is then confronted by Pilaf and his gang. At first, Goku is actually surprisingly happy to see Pilaf again, just more like, oh, hey, it's you, Pilaf. How are you today? Hello, Pilaf. And Pilaf is just like immensely ticked off by Goku, and finds this new set of Dragon Balls with black stars on them, and he makes a wish that Goku is a kid again, and that was an accident wish, and so this kind of red Shenron turns Goku into a child. And then later, Goku has to team up with his granddaughter and Trunks in order to find these Black Star Dragon Balls through space. Because if he doesn't, in 1 year the Black Star Dragon Balls will blow up the entire planet, and everyone basically dies otherwise. So let's talk about the GT in a whole. A lot of people, a lot of people despise this show. I'm not kidding. A lot of people hate it. I really wish I wasn't this blunt, but it is. I've read a lot of comments, forums, and people just don't like this show. Now let's talk about it a bit more. Well, for starters, let's talk about the bad points. I think some of the bad points would have to be the characters. Take Trunks. When Trunks first appeared on the show, we saw him as Future Trunks, and he was a badass Future Trunks. Like that cool sort of way how he took down Frieza, like yeah, that was so cool. I loved how he took down Frieza. But however, granted, this isn't the same Trunks, but they kind of downgraded him a little. Now, don't get me wrong, the GT Trunks is a nice fellow. It's just, I guess it's the fact. The problem is that this Trunks doesn't seem a bit onto it. Like he feels a bit less uncool. Like he's just kind of there just for character fandom. He doesn't feel. I think he was just put in there just for fan service, like not to be kind of. I mean, he's not as cool as the Future Trunks, but he's just, kind of there. Like if you replaced him with Vegeta, Yamcha, Tien, Krillin, it would just be the same with Cell. There wouldn't really be much difference there. So I kind of felt, me personally, they just put him there just for fan service due to Future Trunks. But other than that, he wasn't a bad character. He was nice enough, and and he had his cool moments. But he kind of disappeared from the group at the end of the 17 saga, where Pan and Goku had to fight the Shadow Dragon throughout the planet. However, but then another character I had a bit of issues with was Goten. I really loved Goten. Like when he was a child and see, he was so adorable. He was so cute. I think my problem with Goten in GT was that he just became too obsessed with girls. Like this guy became Super Saiyan 3 as Gotenks. Like, granted, he was fused with Trunks to become Gotenks, but still, Super Saiyan 3 at one point, and he had to fight so many bad guys like Majin Buu, Baby, Omega Shenron, Hammergrat, even Adolf Hitler at one point. And yeah, he changed from such a puppy dog kid into such a teen hooked on women. Now, I have no problem with that. It's just felt like, I mean, Gohan technically quit fighting to live a normal life, go to school, find a nice girlfriend, had a child, got married, etc. But Goten, I just felt like, Goten could have gone on that spaceship. Like a friend of mine, Pokeball, once told me he once wondered what would have happened if Goten went on that spaceship. And I thought, and that was the same question too. Like he should have gone on to that spaceship. I thought the story would have been better with an additional character there. It's just the guy just felt like he just lacked down a little bit. Like, he kind of made Gohan look good in comparison. It's just, Goten, what happened to you? I mean, dude, why would you do that, Puppy Goten? I like Puppy Goten. I don't like girlfriend fascinated Goten. I want puppy dog Goten. Okay, my other problem. Let's see. I think my other problem would have to be Vegeta's mustache. I know he shaved it a little while, but I felt that mustache was stupid. Just, I think the writers knew that. That's why he got to shave. But still, oh my God, that was just terrible. I'm just glad he didn't go Super Saiyan with that thing on. Otherwise, the mustache made him look so old. Like he looked like 60 with that mustache, and he was supposed to be given special drugs to keep young. Dude, what happened to you? Oh, seriously. My other problem would have to be Bula or Bra. I think my problem with Bra. I know I've been giving a little bit of I know I've been criticizing Goten for his attitude with the ladies, but I think Bula would have to have some more criticism since she's just there. That's it. The only thing to her character is that she's the daughter of Vegeta and Bulma, but that's it. She's got no other character than that. She's just there. She doesn't train. She doesn't do anything that really. She has no interest in fighting or does anything that reminds us why she's half Saiyan. In fact, we even forget she is half Saiyan. And the only really real highlight point of her character in GT was helping Baby achieve his perfect form or whatever he was doing there. But that's it. She wasn't even in the final battle against Omega Shenron. And pretty much both families were there. Son and Brief's families were there, but she wasn't there. But then again, the Ox King wasn't also there, but then again, he was getting old in his age. No offense, Ox King, you're a wonderful character. She was just, I don't know, she just felt she was too much of a teenager. I think that was my problem with her. She was just too much of a teenager. But let's go to the good points. What I liked about GT, I can't criticize them for their feelings. For starters, Baby, he was an excellent villain. He was just fantastic. He was scary, the way he could just take over people's minds like that. He took over the entire world. Goku, Pan, Hercule, the only three people not affected by the mind control. Well, it was pretty much a war zone because of Baby. And I thought he was actually a very good Dragon Ball villain, since every Dragon Ball show, media will have their own ace villain. Dragon Ball has King Piccolo, Dragon Ball Z had Frieza, Dragon Ball Super had Black Goku, Dragon Ball GT had Baby, and the movies had Broly. So I think Baby was GT's ace villain, and dude did leave his mark. I felt he was just the way he could control people and turn everyone against Goku, Pan, and Hug. He was just terrifying. I mean, he got Gohan to strangle Pan. That was just heartbreaking a little, seeing how much he affected these characters. Another good thing, I know I might get some negative comments for this, but I really did like Super Saiyan 4. Now, you're probably wondering why. I didn't just like the appearance of Super Saiyan 4, but I also like the transformation process. For example, I like the idea of the Great Ape form combining with the Super Saiyan powers. At first, Goku is suffering from his child form since his child form has caused a major power decrease for him. However, the old Kai has made a suggestion to regrow his tail to help him balance out the power more to control his Super Saiyan 2 and Super Saiyan 3 transformations. It does work, however, it's not enough to beat Baby until he looks at the moon. And then he just has this awesome transformation into the Golden Ape. And boy, is he cool as the Golden Ape. Really, I loved him as Golden Ape. It was fantastic. But then came the Super Saiyan 4 transformation. It reminded me a little bit of Zakato and Gyomon when before they became Gallantmon, where Zakato was trying to talk to Gyomon's corrupted Mega level to try to get him to wake up. I kind of felt this similar presence for Pan and Golden Ape Goku. Pan knew that Goku was going on a rampage and wasn't helping anyone. I mean, yes, he was a Super Saiyan Great Ape, but it wasn't doing anything. She even went up, and then there was a time when he was going to crunch her to death, like shh, shh, shh. However, she was able to show him a picture of her, the family, and all the sea fighters coming for this beach party. And Goku had this kind of weird inner mind, there's some kind of inner mind collision. Like, we got some scenery showing his kid form and his adult form kind of struggling with each other. Like, it was one of those questions where, I mean, it felt like, who am I? Is this really who I am? Is this what I'm going to do? And it just felt beautiful. The way the animation was done, the way they were able to fix both adult Goku and Kid Goku together, and that scene where half of adult Goku's face saw the moon. I just, whoa, that was just lovely. That was just really beautiful. I know I'm going to get hate for this, but I felt it was amazing. And then after having this kind of balanced mind, he transformed into a Super Saiyan 4. And I did like the appearance. I mean, I know it's different from the yellow hair. I mean, everyone's going to love the golden hair. I think out of all the transformations, Goku's most memorable one will always be Super Saiyan 1. I think that's fair to say. However, what I loved about it was that I liked how it worked. The red fur, the way his muscles were designed to match a gorilla's. It was just great, and I loved the eyes. Like, I mean, it was just, whoa, this guy looked badass. I mean, it reminded us, I mean, there are going to be some problems, like, some fans are going to ask him questions like, how come in this level he's an adult, and yet somehow when he powers down he's back as a kid? I mean, that was one problem I had, since, I mean, shouldn't he still have been a kid as a Super Saiyan 4? That's what I never got, really. But, never mind that. Another problem was his trousers. When he became the Golden Ape, all his clothes ripped apart, yet somehow his trousers got saved and the rest of his clothing. I never got that, but then again, it's anime. We have a girl who sneezes to change personality, a dance that allows two people to become one. I'm not going to judge someone's clothing method when they change from a giant golden monster. However, what I liked about this was that Goku felt tough. Like he looked, it's like all his childlike nature vanished. The last time this happened was when he fought Frieza for the first time as a Super Saiyan 1. Like, he was still questioning himself. He even told his granddaughter that he didn't even know if he was in control sometimes. But Super Saiyan 4 to me personally worked. I liked the design and I think it could have worked in C if Toriyama thought about it differently. I mean, I think Toriyama may have liked it. He did draw a picture of it, and Super Saiyan 4 did leave a type of legacy. In Dragon Ball Heroes, we have Broly and Gohan and Super Saiyan 4, so it's not forgotten. It's still there, even with God and Super Saiyan Blue. But the other good thing I liked about it was, I know, again, I'm gonna get hate for this, but was Majin Buu's and Piccolo's death. Now, believe me, I was crying my eyes out seeing these two die. I mean, Majin Buu's a baby. No matter how you put it, no matter what he does, he will always be a baby. And yet, he has developed, he changed from such a maniac monster into such a kind-hearted kid. Hercule opened Majin Buu's mind to new things. He could see differently, he could think differently. And Majin Buu knew he was going to die. He knew Oob needed this power more than him. And he told Hercule, "You're the best friend I ever had. Thank you for changing my life for the better. I'm so glad I was here. I'm so glad I made all these friends." And then he merged with Oob, and so Oob could become Majin. But still, I just felt, whoa, Majin Buu, for all his faults, was a good character, and it was upsetting since in the end he made the ultimate sacrifice. Granted, it may have been Super Saiyan 4 Goku to be baby, but still, Majin Buu loved his friends. It showed how far he had come from a destructive genie to this wonderful person. He really changed for the better. And now the other death was Piccolo. Piccolo was a hard one to take in since he was a fan favorite by Toriyama and a lot of people. Well, the reason why Piccolo died was because the Black Star Dragon Balls had been reused by Baby, and since there was not much of a time limit, the Earth was crumbling quicker. And due to that, Piccolo decided to stay aboard so the humans could escape to planet Tuffle. But the reason why Piccolo wanted to stay behind was so that, because since the Black Star Dragon Balls were still linked to him. The new Dragon Balls were linked to Dende, but the black ones were linked to him. And he was worried, and seeing the world being destroyed due to them, he didn't want to take that chance again. So he decided to stay on the planet and die with the lava, meaning the Black Star Dragon Balls would become forfeit, no more, just rocks. And so Piccolo died, and it was upsetting since when Piccolo first came in Dragon Ball, he looked like your natural villain. However, he grew. Gohan changed him. He became a good person. He became a mentor, a father, a friend, everything to the Sea Fighters. He was pretty much a dad to Gohan, and he was just an amazing character. He really grew from a revenge wanting to this mature fighter who did the right thing in the end. Piccolo is probably an amazing character, and I'm sad that he died. But this was like he knew he was going to die one day, and I think he was the type of character that said, this is how I'm going down. I decide when I die. No one tells me how to die. This is how I die. And Piccolo was an awesome guy, and I think what got me was his last interactions with Gohan, since we see how much of a bond these two have made. These two love each other, and Gohan would always try to get Piccolo's gi, like in the Cell Saga and the beginning of the Great Saiyaman arc. Their relationship was beautifully made. The other thing I really liked about it was Gogeta Super Saiyan 4. Now, Gogeta Super Saiyan 4 was probably a very most powerful character in all of Dragon Ball. I mean, Toriyama revealed Gogeta's base form was the equal to a Super Saiyan 4, so that explains why as a Super Saiyan 4 himself, he would be so amazingly powerful. And Gogeta walked! His red hair was awesome, and just how strong he was. I also like the prelude to his fusion, how Vegeta was the one to say we need to do it. Like he knew they couldn't beat Omega Shenron by themselves. He and Goku needed to merge. And that's what I liked about it the most. Also, I liked how Goku was just taking it in before the fusion. Just how he said, I like this. I like that our families are fine together. It brings back so many memories. And that's what I liked about the Gogeta fusion. Not just the fusion himself, but the prelude to the fusion. How Goku and Vegeta and their families were bonding with each other. It shows that the Sun family and the Brief family, no matter what happens, these families will always be connected. No matter what happens. The other thing I liked was the ending of GT, where Goku just watches his great grandson and watches Vegeta's great grandson fight each other. I mean, and he's just walking away, just having a flashback from all of Dragon Ball, and just thinking of how he got here. What I liked about this scene was that it showed how far Goku had come. Because when we first see Goku, he's just a mountain boy who's oblivious to everything. He doesn't. He didn't. Bulma was the second woman he ever saw in his life, and he didn't even know what that was until she explained it properly. But we saw how far he came. He made a gajillion friends. Oolong, Yamcha, Bulma, Roshi, Launch. I could go on a list of an incomplete list of friends. It shows how special a character Goku is. Like he's not the smartest apple on the roof, but he's just an amazing character since he's like glue. He's able to bring all these characters together. Yamcha was a desert bandit, Tien was an assassin, Vegeta was a genocidalist, Piccolo was a son looking for revenge, 18 was the android looking forward to kill him, Majin Buu was a destructive machine, Brius, god of destruction, list goes on, but somehow he was able to change these lives for the better, somehow make roles for these characters to come together to make the great team of the Sea Fighters. And just seeing that thinking to all of those fights, it was just beautiful. And I mean, and then we just saw him flying into air. I remember shouting, "Don't go, don't go, man, don't go." I didn't want him to end. I mean, I think that's why I didn't like GT as much as the others because it was the ending. That was the end of Dragon Ball. This is what happened, and I was just angry that this was how it ended. So, in conclusion, is GT the worst thing in Dragon Ball? I can't really say. Well, what makes GT different is that it doesn't have a manga, and there are some flaws to it. However, I can't say it's terrible, since, to be fair, it does stick to some of the Dragon Ball content. It's trying to merge C and the original, such as having Goku as a child looking for Dragon Balls and being accompanied by a certain group of ragtag characters. And it's just nice, just seeing how he's trying to get through his life. Now there are some problems like not enough use of the other three Super Saiyan levels and possibly Goku being a kid. However, they still gave us a good show, like some decent arcs and some really cool villains. Also, they had some scenes that can actually tug on your heartstrings, like Piccolo's and Majin Buu's death. But there were some scenes that could actually be good, like the Super Saiyan 4 transformation, where Goku actually had to do ask about his own personality and lifestyle. But how? So GT. I think what fans don't like about GT is that it's the final one. It's just C left such a big impact. Is that I don't think anyone will be able to make a sequel to Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z left an impact on the world that I don't think it can recover from, and because of that impact, I don't think anyone will be able to accept a sequel to it. Even Super gets some criticisms also, same as GT did. So I think when it comes down to it, Dragon Ball Z just can't get a sequel. Well, a sequel everyone will be satisfied with. But GT itself, it's a good serial. Like, it's not as good as the original Dragon Ball or Z or Super, but it's still good. I mean, it's not great, but it's not bad either. It's good. And I honestly can say I like it. I mean, granted, it does have its flaws, but then again, C and Dragon Ball and Super have their flaws. Like, Dragon Ball you could say the flaws in Dragon Ball is that it takes too long to get for the arcs to be done, or for C, you could argue that they had too many Super Saiyan transformations, like Vegeta's bulky form, or in Super, you could say the problem was the animation error. However, when it comes down to it, GT is just Dragon Ball. It was made by people who still stuck to the sources and still tried to use the right type of animation, even though it was different. And it did have some heart to it. And before people say Dragon Ball GT is all terrible, let me say three things. Dragon Ball Evolution.